Hey moms, it's Katie here with another episode of Live and Learn, and I have my awesome sidekick, JD, otherwise known as Jen Duncan with Team EvoAZ at eXp Realty. Say hello.
Hi. Say that with a mouthful.
All right. Blah, blah, blah. There she is in all her loveliness, and she is going to teach us something today, are you not?
Yes. Something that will be very valuable. I don't know. Yeah, that it's very valuable.
We see a lot, obviously, we're out and about all day long. We're talking with lots of clients through the real estate thing. We're talking with lots of moms through MOMnation, now in 6 states. How crazy is that?
Oh my God. That's cool.
We're seeing a lot of moms that are, we're having conversations, and we're seeing a lot of posts about renting homes. A lot of moms out there that are renting. There's a lot of families out there, a lot of people out there that are renting. Right now, here in Arizona, where we are, it's actually becoming extremely difficult to rent. It's very tough to find property. The prices are sky high. They're through the roof. Even for apartments. And so with that difficulty, of course, those bad guys are out there with scams and fraudulent activity. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today. I'm going to let JD take the table here and talk a little bit about rentals, scams, and how to avoid those.
Yes. So there are a lot of scams out there right now. They've been around forever, really, but there's just a lot now because people are trying to capitalize on desperate people, right? Like people are desperate to find a home. They find something, like a 4-bedroom in Gilbert for $800. Who isn't gonna jump on that?
Exactly. Just so you know, people, that doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. So, too good to be true. But I hear it all the time. Like, oh, can we go see this one? Here's a few tips to help make sure that it's a legitimate rental and that they're not going to steal any money from you.
Right. Before you get into that, sorry, just to set the stage a little bit here. So there's many ways that we can find rental properties, right? So we can go on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, Zillow, all kinds of different places where just a regular old person can find rental properties that are listed for rent. It's always best, obviously, to have representation. That way you can kind of avoid some of these things. It makes it a little bit easier for you as the tenant, and you don't pay anything. So that's the best route to go. But if you don't happen to go that route and you're looking on your own, here are some things that you really need to look out for, because we have seen some serious situations.
So just kind of a little background on Arizona too. Like right now, a lot of people, there's a house and there'd be 10 people in line just waiting to see it. So
out the door.
Oh my God.
Out the door in line.
Yeah. Out the door. But so if you see a listing and let's say you're on Zillow and there's a house for rent, the price is $800 in Gilbert, and you want to see if it's legitimate or not. The first thing I do is take that phone number, because usually they'll have a phone number, sometimes a name on there for who to contact if you're interested. I Google it and just see what comes up. If it comes up as a property management company, sure, then that's a little bit more legit. We can contact them directly and make sure that it's their listing. You can also look, it's on truecaller.com. It's kind of like the white pages, I guess. Is that what they were called?
Back in the day.
Yeah, when you used to look through the phone book and look for someone's number, it's like that. So it can sometimes pull up the name.
It's like a reverse lookup. So you pop in the phone number, and then it will tell you who it is in most cases.
Yeah. So that's one way. The first thing you should do if you see a listing and you want to just see who it is you're talking to.
Right. Back to just to interrupt you real quick here, JD, with a quick story. My apologies. You know how I am. But I feel like your first tip, super valid. Definitely, Google it. Definitely look up the phone number and everything. But also, it's important to look to see if it's listed for sale.
Yes, that was my next thing. You have stories about that.
I do. In fact, one just happened.
What happened?
It was within the last couple of weeks. So I had this listing over in El Mirage, beautiful home, listed for sale, not listed for rent at all. anytime while my people owned it, and they lived there for like 10 years. So it was never listed for rent. And I was actually getting ready to close. We were a couple of days from closing, and I received this phone call from a super nice guy. And he said, oh, hey, is, Bob there? And I'm like, I don't know any Bob. This is Bob here. And he's like, well, I'm at the house in El Mirage, so they get my phone number from the sign,
From the sign, yeah, in the listing, huh?
Right. And I'm supposed to be meeting Bob here to get the keys to rent this home.
Oh, no.
And I said, well, I'm sorry, sir. No Bob here. This particular property is not for rent. It's actually listed for sale. And it closes in a couple of days. The happy buyers are probably going to be right along to do their walkthrough here anytime today. So Bob will not be showing you the property. You will not be renting the property.
Right.
Oh, well, what happens to my deposit?
Oh, no. So Bob is not here. And he sent some random Bob some money, and now he's got nothing.
Yeah. So
Terrible.
Poor little guy's not renting this beautiful home he thought he was moving his family into, and Bob is probably a few hundred, hopefully not a few $1,000s richer.
So yeah, so look it up and see if it's for sale. So you Google the address or something like that and see if it pops up anywhere else. I've also had ones that are actually for rent with a property manager for like, let's say $1,600 a month, but then it's also listed somewhere else for like $800. So someone's trying to, like it is a legitimate rental,
right?
It's not $800,
right?
So that's something that might come up too, like if you're looking for sale or whatever. The second tip is if the home's listed for rent by owner, like let's say Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, or whatever, cross-reference their name. Like if you're talking to quote unquote the owner, reference their name with the county's assessor website for the tax records,
which is all public access.
Yeah, so it's public access, and you can look it up, and most of the time it'll have the name. Sometimes it's like in a trust or something like that. But that's a good way to be like, oh, that's not Bob that owns the home. It's this person, and they should probably know that their house is being marketed as a scam. So the third tip, if they're requesting any money before you see the house, just run. Just delete their email. Like don't even go for it, because if you don't see the house first, they're likely going to take your money and you're not going to get keys.
I got another story for that.
Oh God.
Again with a listing. A couple of years ago, I'm about ready to close on a house again. My seller's getting ready, boxing stuff up. He was home during the day. He gets knock on the door like the cops, like pounding real aggressive. So he's like, what? So he goes over, opens the door, and it's this woman, probably late 30s. And she's just looks really anxious. And she says, I have been waiting for your phone call. I need the keys. I need to move in tomorrow. My kids need to start school. All this kind of, this was right around school starting season. My kids start school. I'm a single mom, like just unloads on my seller. So my seller says, I don't know what you're talking about, lady. My house is sold. It was never for rent. It isn't for rent. I believe the buyers are actually moving into it, so they're not renting it out. I don't know what to tell you. I'm really sorry. Maybe you have the wrong house. This isn't the wrong house. This is the one I gave them my last $1,200.
Oh my God. Can you imagine? I'd like throw up right there. Like, oh my God.
Woman, this poor single mom, kids about ready to go to school, ready to move into this house tomorrow that she doesn't have, nor does she have her last $1,200. And I felt so bad. The seller called me kind of angry.
Yeah. And
said, what are you doing listing my home as a rental? And I'm like,
oh my gosh.
I didn't, man. I can't control what, billions of people in this world do. I did not list your home for rent. And I'm sorry that happened. We never saw her again, never heard from her again. I don't even know who she is, but I certainly feel sorry for her.
You know what's the worst too is like when that happens, then you got to go find a new place. So I don't know, like it costs a lot to move into a rental. You got first month, security deposit, which is a full month, pet fees, cleaning fees, fees, like fees on top of your fees to move in. Like if you're tight on your budget, that that would just kill someone. I'm sure that was terrible for her.
100%. I felt so bad.
And that kind of moves into, don't wire funds to anybody, whether you're buying a home, you know, but doing a rental. Like these home buyers right now, their wire fraud, they're losing like hundreds of thousands of dollars. But still, it's a lot of money.
It's very scary, and we're hearing a lot of horror stories, and it is several hundreds of thousands of dollars. And what's happening is hackers are getting into our email systems, into title company email systems, and they're actually sending emails with fraudulent wire instructions to our clients.
It's crazy.
Here on our team, we always tell our clients about that. We've got it on our emails. We have all these points everywhere. We will never email wiring instructions or discuss it even in an email. So you can rest assured that won't be coming from us, but it's out there. And it's been really, really impacting a lot of people and a lot of purchases.
It has. Yeah, so don't wire any funds. It's probably going to a different country. So just run if you see that.
Seriously.
Also, don't give your financial info. So with, you know, property managers, usually they'll use like a website where you can pay your fees and stuff like that, or you can bring them a check or a money order, something like that. But don't give anyone your bank info or your card info or anything like that to pay like deposits and stuff like that. It's just asking for trouble.
Well, and paying for cash too. I like that tip a lot. It's just so much more difficult to track. So pay with something that's trackable, as long as it's a legit person you're paying.
So yeah, not only is there like, is it ridiculously hard to find a rental right now? There's tons of scams. You don't want to lose out on your money. And that would just stress me out. But you know what's crazy is that a lot of people don't realize that they can buy a home right now
for less than what it costs to rent.
Yes. So with our house, we only put down $750. Like, I don't know about anyone else, but we paid $5,000 to get into our last rental, which is crazy. Yeah.
So I just rented out for one of our clients, a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom, 600 square foot home. Okay. Not even a home, like apartment above a garage.
Above the garage, right? My mortgage is not that much more than that.
It's not. They're paying $1,000 a month. They just dropped off a check for $2,000 to move in.
Yeah.
You get a house for less than that.
Oh, for sure. So like we did the down payment assistance program. You don't have to be a first time buyer. That's a common misconception. Also, a lot of people think their credit's not good enough. You only need to be at like a 640, 660-ish to do the down payment assistance. So,
well, that, and if your credit's not great, then talk to us so we can help you work on it for free, because we do not charge for that. Or our guy that helps does not charge for that. Rather, instead of just living with bad credit for the rest of your life, you live with bad credit for the rest of your life. You're constantly paying somebody else's mortgage, and you're paying through the nose for everything you're getting. Credit cards, any other loans through the nose, insurance through the nose. Get your credit up to par. It's really not that
matter
difficult.
What. I mean, it's worth it to even talk to Ryan to get your credit up, even for a rental. Like that can
Ryan's our guy. Just telling the audience, Ryan's our guy at Waterstone Mortgage that does this.
He's amazing.
We're so passionate. We get all fired up about this.
So he can help. Like if you think your credit's not good, he'll give you a step-by-step plan. Like he told me, pay this credit card down to $50 and your score will jump this much by this time. It is super helpful. And so we're refinancing. I think you guys are too.
Yeah.
And our payments are going to drop like almost $200 a month.
It's awesome.
And our mortgage is about $500-$600 less than what it would be to rent the same house.
Isn't that crazy?
While the value is going up.
And you're gaining equity. And you have the tax benefits. And your rent's not going to go up. And you're not going to get kicked out after 12 months. You know, it's just so much.
I just talked to somebody that their landlord, they had sent them a lease, a renewal lease, and then decided like 2 days later that they were going to sell the house instead. Unless they paid like $300 more a month.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, wow.
Landlords are getting away with it.
They are.
They're totally getting away with it.
But there's also scammers trying to get away with taking your money. So just be careful. And
Circling
ask us
back to the topic.
Yeah. I know we kind of got off on a rant there, but it's all good info. If anyone has any questions, just ask. We could talk about this stuff all day. We do, actually.
Definitely. So feel free to reach out to JD. Our website is EvoAZ.com. That's E like elephant, V like Valentine, O like orange, AZ like Arizona.com. I say this all day long. Can you tell?
That's funny.
And then, JD, if they wanted to just give you a quick call or shoot you a text, what's your number? It
is 480-707-7554.
Awesome.
One more time. What? 480-707-7554. Lots of sevens.
Awesome. Well, thank you, JD.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.